Hi, it's Kelsey with Shipwreck Beads, and today we are going to make a little layering necklace using seed beads and some tiara cast charms. These are the beads. We're using a bead mixture today. So it's this just pretty fun little spring mix, very eclectic colors. There's even some like little stripy beads in there too that are pretty cool. We're not using a clasp today. It's going to be an over the head necklace, so we're going to be using some chain. I also have some 49 strand beadle on wire, some little spacer beads here, and we've got a selection of the new tiara cast Dolce Vita charms. So they're double-sided, which is great because we can totally get more use out of them that way. We're going to use, I've got 10 different charms here. I don't know if we'll end up using them all, but we're going to start off by connecting our charms to jump rings and get them prepared for our stringing. So we're going to get those done first, and then we'll start with our stringing. So I'm going to go ahead and angle you down. Okay. See everything a little bit more here. Hi, Kim. Okay. Alrighty. So we've got all our charms here. Like I said, I've got 10 of them, and they're all double-sided. I've got some jump rings. So we're going to start by just attaching jump rings to each of these charms. Hi, Tara. The thing I love about this Dolce Vita line is, you know, one that they're double-sided. You've got some really great combinations you can work with when you're pairing them all together. So for 5 charms, it's like you have 10 because you've got the different sides that you can utilize as well. So this necklace is inspired by some necklaces that were put together by the tiara cast ladies using a seed bead necklace that they added charms to. And so I'm doing sort of a variation of that. Hi, Cindy. Again, with the jump rings, you want to position it so it's in your plier with the opening facing up, and then you're going to grab it with the second plier and just gently fold it open like that. And then to close it, you're going to do the same. So just fold it back to shut it. All right, so now we've got our charms, or jump rings added to our charms. I love this release so much. It's just gorgeous. Okay, so here's all of our charms. I'm gonna put them so they're with their partner, but the opposite side facing forward. Alrighty, so there's our 5 different charms we're using. Can't particularly see that. Back a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to take our beads, carefully open. These little clamshell containers come and they're taped shut, and we actually add more tape to them in shipping because they like to pop open. So carefully slice the tape on the sides. Open that up. You can see some of the really pretty little colors in there. Hi, Debbie. All right, so we're going to get some spacers out as well. So because it's going to be an over the head necklace and we're going to be adding chain to the back end of it, we're probably only going to bead about that much or so. So I'll probably do 10 beads and then a space. Actually, I'm going to start off with 3 beads. And a spacer. And then we're going to string, we'll do 15 beads. I need to trim the end of this. It's a little frayed. These are a size 6 seed bead. Thank you. This is one I found at some little tent down in one of the shows at Tucson. I just love it. Oh, I stopped counting. How many beads do I have now? So it's 5, 10, 15. Oh, perfect. So now we're gonna add a charm. And we'll just keep adding beads. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, you're moving to Tucson in a few months? Cool. Hi, Pam. It can be so hard to string randomly sometimes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 9, 10. That jump ring's not all the way closed. You're finally home from Florida? I was wondering what happened to you, Carla. So it's always important to have your jump rings closed, but it's especially important when you're stringing onto a small material like the beading wire, because if you've got any type of gap within your jump ring, then it's going to slip off the cord. So you just need to be careful with that when you're putting together your necklace if you are using jump rings, to make sure that everything is, that your jump rings are closed up tight. So I'm not really paying attention to what side that I'm putting facing forward on this right now, but once I start adding the second charm, I'll be much more conscious to make sure that the opposite side is going to be facing forward. Oh, I was going to add more spacer beads to this. Well, shoot, I don't want to unstring all of that, but I really want to add those silver beads. So we got to start over, or at least a little bit. I wanted to add some silver in there into the pattern, and I just forgot. I got so happy stringing my beads. And sorry for my absence tomorrow or yesterday on our Twitch show. I was out sick yesterday, and well, that's what happens. But we'll be back on Twitch tomorrow. 3, 4, 5. Spacer bead. There we go, that's what I wanted. Yep, keeping it real like always. Hi, Marianne. That's how I roll. Now we're cooking. So did everybody have, I know it's Wednesday, but has everybody had a good week so far? I'm teaching my beading class at my daughter's school today. So that should be fun. I think we're gonna do stretch bracelets because it's easy. And the kids love it, so that's always fun. Okay. Nice. Glad to hear that, Deb. Okay, so now we want to make sure when we're putting these, so now I'm going to start, I think I'm only going to use one of these guys here, so that's like the little rounded one. But now as I go and put these extra charms on here, I'm going to really pay attention to which side is facing forward because I want the opposite side of the pattern facing forward on this round. And a spacer. That one's awful skinny. We're not going to use that one. All right, now which one do we need? We need this round one, so we want to make sure that the opposite side's facing forward. I love these kind of necklaces that have a lot of different colors and stuff like that in them because I think they're really easy to pair and layer with other things. Yes, it is a mixture. It is SB 50-1. It's a size 6 seed bead mix, and so they come already pre-mixed like this. This is like I think it's like 100 grams or something. We're almost done. I know watching beads get strung is not always the most entertaining thing in the world, but we're almost there. 5 of those. So now we have this guy. We want to have the other side facing forward. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I like the colors too. It's a real kind of random mix. And then, of course, everything else I'm using here is tiara cast. Of course. Another little green one. Oh, and there goes some beads. Which side do we use? So we want the other side facing forward. Not that side, other side. So I'm going to have to adjust this little portion on this side here, but that's okay. 3, 4, 5. Spacer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spacer, and now we'll add 3. That's how I want to end it. Okay, so now we're going to take this in, so that's all. We'll have to adjust the other end in just a second. The beading wire that I'm using today is a 49 strand 0.018. It's this guy here, and it's by Bead. Okay, so now where'd my chain go? There's my chain. Hi, Holly. All right, so we're gonna open this up. We're going to use a crimp bead. So this is a like square kind of cable chain from TierCast. So we're going to string on our crimp bead. And so we want to make sure that our ends aren't crossed, so you do that by, you can tell right now that they're crossed because they're crossing. So we're going to kind of twist it and make sure that they're sitting parallel before we crimp. Now we're going to take our crimp bead plier, and so it's a two-part process. So we've got the lips shape, and we've got our little eyeball shape, and so we're going to give it a kiss first. So we're going to center our crimp bead in that little gap and smash. Make sure that's nice and smashed down, and we want to make sure that there's a string coming out on either side of that crimp. Then we're going to turn it 90 degrees and take that front portion of the plier and we're going to smash it again. Alrighty. And then I always like to use crimp covers whenever I use a crimp bead, so I've got some crimp covers here. Looks like a little clamshell, and basically all it's going to do is eat your crimp bead. But I just like, it gives it a little more finished look to it, and then we're just going to press it shut. So that just covers up the crimp bead so you don't see that in your work. And I'm just going to trim that off. Okay, so now I'm going to go and trim there, and then we got to finish up the beads on this side because remember we switched up the pattern a little bit by adding those spacers, so we got to a spacer, and then we ended with 3, right? Yeah. 1, 2, and we'll go 3 with this guy. Okay, now we're gonna measure so that it'll be able to fit over our head. Because remember, we're not gonna be using a clasp with this, so I'm just kind of eyeballing it here. And that's about as much chain as we'll need, and so I think we can actually not have to cut these to open it. I'm all tangled up in the leather from Friday's show. Okay. I don't think this is soldered. Nope. Okay. So now we've got this side. Okay. So we're going to take a crimp bead here, put it on our wire, and take our other end of chain, string that through, and pull it snug. And again, you want to make sure those wires aren't crossed. And this is the moment of truth here. cropped your bead. You know, if you crimp too hard, it can break. If your wires are crossed, then it can cause slippage because you won't get a tight enough crimp to it. So those are some big things. But yeah, you don't want to make sure and crimp it too hard, and you want to make sure that your wires are not crossed. I mean, you want to give it a good squeeze, but you don't want to crush the wires in there, and you don't want to crimp it so hard that you break the metal on the crimp bead. All right, so there is our little layering necklace. Go ahead and turn you to face up here. Hello. All right, so this is what we've got. A nice little layering necklace on here. So it's just a fun little piece. We could have made it a little bit longer. And actually, if you wanted to adjust it, see, I don't know. I don't measure things. Let me see, hold on. It's about 26 inches. So it's long enough to fit over the head. You can always add a clasp or lengthen the chain if you want. You could add more beads, but it's just a really nice layering piece. I really like, I like using the bigger seed beads, especially for a piece like this. But again, you can add any beads that you want. I just wanted to use the mix. Yeah, so there you go. I know I'm sparkly. It's my love shirt, my red love shirt. Because you know today's the wear red day. So I'm wearing my red and I'm wearing my heart on my sleeve or on my shirt, whatever, I don't know. Anyways, so that's our project for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, just some real simple techniques to throw together an easy layering necklace. Friday, I don't know what we've got planned for Friday, and I think tomorrow on Twitch we're going to be playing around with resin. So if you're interested in watching me Pinterest craft fail at resin projects tomorrow on Twitch, I will be there tomorrow at 1:30. So there you go. And then yeah, Friday we'll be doing something else. Actually, I think I have some in mind with some chain and some other pieces, and we'll see. It's going to be an adventure. Every day is. So yeah, so we'll see you tomorrow 1:30 on Twitch and Friday right here on Facebook at 4. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.